Good afternoon, everybody. It's Thursday. It's gloomy and gray here in Toronto. How I wish I was in sunshine, but I'm sure everybody else is feeling the same. Let's just embrace the Canadian winter and be okay with it. So today I'd love to talk to you about accountability and how you are holding yourself accountable for any goals or intentions that you would like to create with your life. Um, it being a new year, 2019, I'm sure January you set a whole bunch of intentions, and I'm just checking in to see where you're at with everything. Generally, in my practice, I focus on three things. So that's always to do with food, obviously, being a nutritionist, movement, so moving your body, going to the gym, exercising, that kind of stuff. And the third one, spirituality and mindset. So those are the three things, my three pillars that I'm really big on in my practice. So the first one being food, I want to know, have you set up certain days in your schedule? So is it Sundays and Wednesdays? That's the days that I do it, but doesn't necessarily mean the days that you should do it. Those are the days that I meal prep. So I'm wondering, do you meal prep on certain days? Do you have hey Johnny, welcome. Hey Peter, how are you? Do you have specific days where you meal prep? Do you have a meal prep software that you utilize that plans out your meals for the week? What else do I got here? Do you make meals ahead of time where when you're getting home from work, all you do, hey Lena, all you do is pop it in the oven and you're ready to go. Hello, Angelica. That's what I do. So I make my meals stupid easy. I get home, I literally throw on the oven. I might throw a sweet potato or two in the oven. And then if it's some sort of chicken breast or piece of fish or whatever that I've made already cooked, that goes in the oven, while I'm perhaps changing to get into something a little bit more comfy, or cleaning up a bit. And then so everything is cooking while I'm doing other things. So that is an option. Maybe it's soup, so I don't use my microwave. I throw my soup in a pot and I warm everything up in my pot and on my stove. So that's always an option too. So what else do we got here? Yeah, that's the meal prepping game. So utilizing either a software, and then picking 2 to 3 days a week where you're doing like batch cooking so that you have stuff always on the go. Love to create different bowls of certain foods. So I do a lot of like egg dishes, and then I'll throw in some sauerkraut or maybe some pickles, some plantain chips, and it's just sort of like a mishmash of everything. But always making sure when you're creating a bowl that you have fat, fiber, and protein. So your fat would look something like, first of all, hang on. Hi, Malgorzata. Thank you for joining. So your fat would look something like avocado, olives, your cooking oils that you're using, preferably a coconut oil or an avocado oil, or I see a lot of paleo, keto people using duck fat. That's a big one. So using a clean oil source, that would be a nice fat. And don't be shy with the fat. Maybe it's olive oil on your salad, so it could look something like that. Your fiber obviously is your veggies, right? Fruit in moderation, but the majority of fiber comes from veg. And then obviously protein, if you are a meat eater, is coming from your animal sources of your preferably leaner meats, so chicken, turkey, and fish. Occasionally you can have your red meats, maybe once a week, and then eggs, I stay away from dairy. I'm not sure about everybody else. I just digestively can't do it, but that would be something to look at if you are having digestive complaints. So anyways, that's how you would build a bowl. So for working out, I usually take a look at my gym schedule. So I belong to Good Life. So I'll look, okay, when can I go throughout the week? So I've set up like Thursday through Sunday. I know exactly which classes I'm going to. I'm a class girl. But if you're not a classes person, maybe you like to go for a walk or a run, and then you could just schedule that into your phone. Like I usually throw it in my iPhone, so I know exactly what I'm doing. I also will utilize a blackboard. Like I painted a piece of my wall that's a blackboard, so I have it for February, and I check off all the days that I've been active. And that could include a walk or maybe doing the stairs in your condo if you are in a condo. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're attending a class or you're doing something like CrossFit or whatever. So as long as you move your body, that gets a check mark. And having a workout buddy. So tonight I'm going to yoga with one of my girlfriends, Lena's, who's actually watching the video right now. So having somebody to meet up with where you can, instead of just doing coffee and tea, you're kind of creating a little bit of a workout out of it. So, we're going to do tea first, and then we'll head over to hot yoga afterwards. So kind of combining a tea date. Instead of just sitting the whole time, you're actually moving your body. So that's kind of what I've been doing lately when I visit with my girlfriends. What else do I got here? And then spirituality. So that could look like meditation, that could look like reading a passage in a book, having 5 minutes to yourself. Like I said in my Instagram post yesterday, looking for those 5 minutes a day just to be quiet with yourself, see if any messages pop up. That could look like when you're brushing your teeth, watching a YouTube video, which I typically will do. So starting your day on a more positive note as opposed to, grabbing your phone and immediately checking email and text messages and Instagram and all that kind of stuff. So finding some quiet time in your day. And then, of course, turning things around. So today, actually, when I went for my workout, it was a boot camp class, but he's really big on, he calls it a work in, right? So yes, we're moving our bodies. Yes, we are, burning calories and, gaining muscle and all that kind of stuff. But also he's really big on, if there's something that you are encountering on a daily basis, and you continue to think, oh my gosh, like this is the way that it's going to turn out, like, because the reason you're thinking that is because you're tracking from your past, right? You think it's going to turn out a certain way because that's all you know. That's from past experience. And you might even be one of those people, totally guilty, who will basically survey their friends and family on how they should be, what they should do next, etc. So when we do this, it's like we're looking for different opinions, which I don't necessarily agree with. I think we all know exactly what to do next. It's just a matter of tuning in and listening to that inner knowing, as my coach says. So I can't own that at all. But also, if you listen to Abraham, that they're really big on your internal GPS, your inner knowing. So just taking those 5 minutes a day and figuring out what it is that your inner knowing, higher self, whatever you want to call it, is directing you towards. Because I'd say 90% of the time, it's going to be bang on correct. All right, so the 3 things: how you're keeping yourself accountable, your food, how's your food turning out? It's now February 7th. We're a month and a bit into 2019. So I'm just curious, how is that tracking? How is your gym routine tracking? And how is your mindset spirituality tracking? All right. Thank you so very much for joining. Really appreciate it. I will See you tomorrow. I'm so bad with these lives, but I really need to get back on track. So I'm going to keep myself accountable and get back on tomorrow and talk about something refreshing. Have a great rest of the day, guys. See you later. Bye.